welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute, I know, but for those who are new here, my name is Julie Ambani, commonly known as Jules. On this channel, we love to talk about books, literature, development, and a sprinkle of other things here and there. So if that's your cup of tea, give this video a thumbs up and let's go. So today, clearly, we have a guest. This is my first guest ever on this channel. Her name is Noeline. She's one of my best friends. She is not a bookworm, which is perfect for the video we're doing. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Noeline. I am glad to be on Julie's channel today, and we'll be reviewing book covers, and I'm excited about it. I can't wait to start.
Yes, so I'll also link her socials, or her one social that she's active on, in the description. For anyone who's interested in anything finance, she is well knowledgeable on that. So today we will be doing my friend reviews book titles and covers of popular books on BookTok, Bookstagram, and gives her honest opinion about what she thinks of them. Some of them I've read them, I love them, some I really don't, but I won't tell her which is which until after she gives me her thoughts. Then we'll see. The first book is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. What do you think about that?
Oh, I love that book. I love the cover, how it looks. I love the green dress, and the color in the background makes it really pop. I think it's a book I can read. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Looks like she's involved with lots of guys, and yeah, it looks like an interesting book.
Yeah, actually, this is one of the books that's very famous on BookTok. That's TikTok for books. And for a long time, I didn't read it because I thought the hype would be disappointing. BookTok has conned me a number of times. But I love this book. I think actually you will remind me of Evelyn Hugo because she lives her life unapologetically. And she also did what she had to do to survive. She's basically a movie actress.
It's based on a true story?
No, it's fiction, but it also feels like the same way you would feel reading about who is a popular actress.
Marilyn Monroe?
Yes, exactly. The same way you would feel like reading about her history. That's how it is. It's actually a very, very good book. I gave it 5 stars.
It's a good, it looks like a book I'd read for sure.
So that's our book number 1. So the second book is Chintu. So spelled Kintu, but apparently the Ugandans pronounce this as Chi. So this is Chintu. What do you think about this?
It looks very African. But this one, I don't know whether I'll be biased because I feel I've heard about it. Is it something to do with he was a warrior?
Not really. No.
Okay. I like the setup of the title of the heading, Kintu. It's appealing. It's a book that you definitely turn twice to look at. Personally, I've not read like most of African stuff, but it looks like something I will try. I'll probably struggle, but I will try.
So, surprisingly, by the guys, we're in the coast, so if you see us dabbing our faces, it's hot. Anyway, so surprisingly, this is also one of those popular books I was scared to read because of how popular it is, but it's one of the most authentic books I've ever read. You know, like how when you read a book and then they say something like, he went to the kiosk, then they explain what a kiosk is. Here in Ayo. It's purely African, so it's based in Uganda. This author is one of the most prolific authors in Uganda. It's a story about a generational curse.
A generational curse.
So it has the African mythology in it, and it's basically this Chintu, his family line. It's a very, very good book that I recommend. I also give this a 5 star.
Okay, interesting.
So that's Chintu. Book number 3, guys, is His Only Wife by Peace Adzo. So
okay. For this one, it's okay. I like the title, His Only Wife. It explains why there's 2 women there. Though I feel that a lot more could have been done
for the cover page. There's like there's a thing that happened all of a sudden. Most African lit books started having this type of meaning. I also feel it could have been more creative.
The title would attract me, but from the cover, I don't know.
So this one was a book that I think I gave it a 4-star.
Yes.
It was just easy to read.
Yes.
Nothing too extraordinary about it. Yes, as the title talks about, it's like this guy, the main character, married a husband in absentia. The husband was not there for the wedding.
Okay.
Yeah. She was just like married off to secure, because their family had kind of a debt with this man's family. And yeah, basically it's one of those books that just comes, but when you read it in the moment, it was good. I can't even fully remember most of it, so it wasn't necessarily like, what's the opposite of forgettable? Rememberable? I don't know. So it's
Memorable,
just memorable. Yeah, it's just an okay read.
Okay.
Yeah. The next one is this one is interesting. Nearly all men in Lagos are mad.
This is a book I definitely read. Even the cover looks like there could be lots of madness going on. I can see the van, the Nigerian vans. I can see a wallet. Of course, there's a wallet.
Money must be involved.
Lagos, and there's flights. So yes, I think it looks like a fun book.
This is actually, I think you would read this because it's not a full novel. It's short stories.
Oh, it's short stories.
Yeah, so I think it's 10 or 12 short stories of women sharing their experiences with men in Lagos. Yeah, some of them are really funny. It's mostly character development, from meeting weird people in the clubs, or from women who are married to pastors who are acting weird. It's actually a good book. I read it in a few hours, by the way. I read it in like 3 hours. I give it like a 4.5 star, I think. Very good. The men in Lagos, they are mad. But this book could easily be changed to nearly all men in Nairobi are mad, and the stories will be the same. Yeah, the stories. I was reading all the stories, and I'm like, this can be Nairobi. Yeah,
I'm going to be surprised.
It's a good one. The next one is this: The Secret Lives of Babasegi's Wives.
Babasegi's Wives. It sounds like a title I've heard before.
It's popular.
It's popular.
Yeah.
Okay. The cover, once again, I think a lot more could have been done. But the title definitely looks like, it's catchy. I'd love to know what's the secret lives of Babasegi's wives. Are they 4 wives?
They are 4 wives.
Okay.
This is one of the first books, actually the first book I ever read that in African literature genre. And basically Babasegi has 3 wives, uneducated, and then she gets a 4th wife who has gone to the university. They try getting a child, but it doesn't work.
The one in purple should be the one.
Should be the one, clearly. They're like the youngest.
Then I have to give the title, at least. It's okay. It's likely okay.
But this cover is a bit better. There's a different cover here that's just... Yeah.
That one's appealing.
This one?
Yeah.
I would say this would appeal to me more, though my copy looks like this. Funny thing about this book, for American audiences, it's marketed very differently. I think it's called Citri, The 4 Wives. Something very, it's like, sometimes in publishing, they Americanize some books to appeal to those audiences. Yeah, but basically now, because the youngest wife isn't getting pregnant, and of course she's educated, so she's like, let's go to hospital and see what's the problem. It all goes downhill from there. You can guess what's the problem. So it's actually a very good book, very funny. I would like to see this as a Nigerian movie. Another fun fact, a lot of African lit stems from Nigeria so far. They hold that fort.
How comes lots of things?
I think also to do with their population and how they market their industries, because not even music, they move very far. I don't know. The next book, guys, is, let's see, The Love Hypothesis. What do you think about this one?
I love science, so and I can see lots of science stuff, and they're kissing there, so I'm imagining it's like an experiment on love. And I definitely read this one. For sure.
This book was one of those TikTok books that truly disappointed me.
No way.
Yeah. Though it gets a lot of praise from other people, but for me, this is supposed to be a 26-year-old PhD student, the lady, and she ends up getting into a fake relationship with this 31 or is it 34-year-old, what are they called, professor or lecturer, something like that. So I think what disappointed me about it was the immaturity behind this. Like, you could have even said, Basi, they are 21 and 23, but 26, and even worse, the guy in your 30s. It was okay. I mean, I wasn't a fan of this book, and it had one of the most weirdest smart scenes. One of the most weirdest ones. We move on to Black Girls Must Die Exhausted.
Wow. The title. What can I say? Black girls, please. We must not die. So I'm curious why they would think that, but I understand. Black girls do undergo a lot, so I understand. I can already imagine where the title is coming from and what I'd expect from the book. Maybe suffering of a black girl or being a black girl. I love the cover. Yeah, it has a black girl, flowers.
It's actually one of the prettiest book covers. This as well as book 2. It's meant to be 3 books. I have not read this big book. I have the copy, but I have not read it just because of this title.
Why? You do not want to see how?
No, I just feel like it will be one of those books with like a lot of heaviness and what.
Exactly.
So you have to be in a right mind frame to read it. But I love the book cover as well. So I can't say much about this book, guys. I've not read it as well. Hopefully I'll read it this year. But yeah, Black Girls Must Die Exhausted. That phrase alone, as 2 black girls, we can relate to it. And girls, you can do, it doesn't have to be hard. You can choose an easier route, by the way. So we move on to our next book, which is The Sex Lives of African Women.
Oh, I've had this book.
It's
been recommended by Stoney. I think I should also read it. I do not like the cover.
But this is the paperback cover.
Yes.
And this is even the better cover. Let's see the other one. This is the other cover.
Oh yes, this is the cover I've seen. This is famous.
So you can imagine I got the orange cover because that's the one that came with the hardback. Then when the paperback came, they came with this better cover. But yeah, basically, what do you think the book is about anyways?
Oh, the sex lives of African women. I'm guessing the stereotype around the sexual lives of African women. That's a topic I'd be interested in finding out about, and I think it's a book I'd just watch, and from the title I can get to read it. For sure.
I think this is one of the books that there's a lot of misconception around it, especially from men. When they hear the sex lives of African women, I don't know what came to their minds. Maybe they thought it was some adventures, or I don't know, some secrets or
sexual explorations of
I think maybe
African
they thought
women.
that. But the book itself actually is a book that's divided into 3 sections: liberation or freedom, healing. Okay, I can't remember the sections. If I remember them, I'll put them on screen. But it's basically stories about, there's even a section on trauma. You know, like a lot of African women, their introduction to sex is through sexual assault, rape, and especially by family members. Then there's also the liberation part of it, especially from people who came through a lot of religious background. Even if they get into a relationship or even marriage, they do not want to explore. They just feel there's no liberation. It's a very, very good book. I think if you could get time, you could enjoy it a lot. But men, it is not what you think. Then we have the next one. Let me not say much first and see what she thinks about it.
Sister.
This is Holy Sister by Mark.
The Bible. it either reminds me of the Bible or Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Is it around that genre?
Yeah, it is definitely around that genre.
Then it suits it. I will not read the book that has police on it. I'm sorry, Julie.
I not want to say anything because Mark Lawrence is one of my most favorite authors.
Oh, okay.
You remember the author who I told you sent me signed copies?
Yes. Oh,
This one.
wow. Mark Lawrence, if you ever get to watch it,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a wonderful book, but no holy.
So I actually don't understand because this genre fantasy has very specific people who read it. Yeah, it's kind of Game of Thrones is also fantasy genre, so it's kind of that.
Yeah.
But basically, it's about nuns who get trained to be assassins.
Oh.
So in that convent, they're just being trained to be assassins and whatnot. It's I suggested it for my fantasy book club. They give it a 3 out of 5.
Oh wow, I'm sorry.
These people, though some really loved it, but yeah, with fantasy it's like that. Either you like it or not. So I will get it if you say you won't read it. But that's Holy Sister, guys. I recommend it for all fantasy lovers. The next one is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Is this a person who exists at the level?
No. It's just fiction. Yeah.
It's fiction. Okay. I don't know. Maybe I would want something more because I can see
the cover is
stars and I'm not sure. So what is it about Addie LaRue?
So this Addie LaRue exists. She every day she's a new person.
Oh, it's a she.
People forget her basically.
Yeah.
So this one book I did not like.
Can you imagine?
We read it for our fantasy book club last year, and the opinions were mixed, but I did not really like it because of the writing, not necessarily the story. So basically, if I remember well, she was kind of cast by someone, and people forget her. So even if we meet today, tomorrow I have to tell you again who I am, and then she's kind of, what is it, immortal, like living over and over and over.
Okay.
She lives, I think, for almost 300 years or more. Yeah, so I can't really remember the story, but I don't know. Would you be interested?
Probably
in
I'll love it as a movie.
There is a movie.
There is.
Not on this, but there's a movie that's so similar. I can't remember it now, but if I remember it, I'll put it in the video, then I'll tell you. I actually watched the movie and I liked the movie more. It's one of those books, yes. If it were a movie.
It's a movie probably, but I don't
because if it's a book, it feels repetitive after a while, and it's almost 600 pages.
Okay.
Very long.
This one, the title is not something that will draw me in.
Yeah, it's not, but it's actually very popular as well. So out of these ones, which was your favorite so far?
So my favorite, I will have to go with I like nearly all the men in Lagos are mad. And there was also The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Those are top picks. Those are good books actually. So that's it, guys. Maybe another time I'll look for and do a different video. There's a lot of content around books for someone who doesn't read. It's fun. So that's it, guys. So yeah, once again, if you're interested in anything finance, financial literacy and stuff, follow her. I'll link her Twitter handle, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.